The kingdom of my divine will in the midst of creatures. Book of Heaven, Volume 33, Part 3. January 28th, 1934. Fraternal bonding between the Supreme Being and the creature on earth. Fraternal bonding in the glory. Power over Jesus himself. How one who lives in the divine will acquires the unitive, communicative, and diffusive force. I was doing my round in the divine Fiat, and my poor mind paused now at one point of its divine acts, now at another, to watch in some the beauty, in some the power, in others the interminability, and so forth, of the creative divine will. It seemed to me that all the supreme qualities were exposed in the whole creation to love the creatures, to make themselves known, establish a fraternal bond with them, and take them as though on their lap, to carry them into the womb of the Creator, from which everything had come out. So all the acts of the divine will are mighty aids, revealers, and for those who let themselves be dominated by them, they make themselves the bearers of the souls to the celestial fatherland. So I arrived at pausing when the divine Fiat did the solemn acts of the creation of man, and my beloved Jesus, surprising me, told me, "My blessed daughter, let us pause together to look at with what mastery, sumptuousness, nobility, power, and beauty man was created. All of our divine qualities pour themselves upon man. Each of them wanted to show off and pour itself, more than thick rain, over he with whom they wanted to establish a fraternal bond. All of them set to work. Our light poured itself upon him to form its brother in light. Goodness poured itself to form its brother, all goodness. Love poured itself to fill him with love and form its brother, all love. Power, our wisdom, beauty, justice poured themselves upon him to form their brother, powerful, wise, just, and of an enchanting beauty. And our Supreme Being rejoiced in seeing our divine qualities, all at work, to fraternally bind themselves with man, as well as our will, which taking life in man, kept the order of our same divine qualities, to make himself as graceful and beautiful as possible. So our occupation was man. Our gaze was fixed upon him, to make ourselves imitated, copied, and to bind him in a fraternal bond with us. And this not only in creating him, but during the whole course of his life. Our qualities exhibited themselves to the continuous work of maintaining the fraternal bond with he whom they loved so much. And after having established this fraternal bond on earth, they would prepare the great feast of the fraternal bonding to glory in the celestial fatherland. fraternal bonding of joy, of beatitude, of perennial happiness. This is why I love him so much, because he was created by us. Therefore, he is fully our own. I love him because our divine being constantly runs upon him and pours itself over him more than a mighty torrent, to leave something of our own, and then resume the new races, to always give. So it is because he possesses something of my own. This is why I love myself in him. I love him because he is destined to populate heaven and to be my brother in glory, as we will glorify each other. I will be his glory as life, and he will be my glory as the work of mine. Hear then the reason why I love so much for the creature to do and live in my will, because with it my divine qualities find their place of honor and can maintain the fraternal bonding with the creature. Without it, they find no place, nor do they know where to put themselves. The fraternal bond is broken, and my life remains suffocated. My daughter, what a gloomy change when the creature withdraws from my will. I no longer find my image, nor my life growing in her. My qualities feel ashamed to remain bound as brothers and sisters with her, because the human will, disunited from the divine, has made everything upset and sluggish. Therefore, take to heart never to get out of my will. With it, you will be fraternally bound with everything that is holy. You will be the sister of all our works, and will hold in your power your Jesus himself. After this, I continued my acts in the divine volition, and my sovereign Jesus added, "My daughter, everything that is done in my will remains identified with it, acquiring the unitive, communicative, and diffusive force. And since our divine acts extend to all, not one creature is put aside. So, one who operates in our will, together with our act, extends to all, wants to do good to all, and remains honored and glorified in having been the universal bearer of good to everything and to every one. And I, my love, yet one cannot see in the creatures the fruit of so great a universal good. Oh, if all were to receive it, how many transformations would occur in the low world!" And Jesus replied, "This means that they do not receive it with love, and their hearts are like sterile earth, with no generative seed, to which our light could bring fecundity. It happens as to the sun, which, though it illuminates and warms all the lands, yet, if it does not find the seed, in order to fecundate it, cannot communicate its generative and productive virtue. And even though with its light and heat it has molded that land, it has received no good. What it was, so it has remained, in its sterility. But in spite of this, the sun was left honored and glorified, having given its light. No one was able to escape it, and it remains triumphant for the mere fact that it gave its light in a universal way to all and over everything. Such are our works, our acts. They're mere possessing the extendable virtue of being able to give themselves in a universal way to all, and of doing good to all, is the greatest honor. It is the greatest glory for us. There is no greater honor, no greater glory than being able to say, I am the bearer of good to all. In my act I hold every one in my power. I embrace all, and I possess the virtue of generating good over everything. And since my ideal is the creature, this is why I call her in my will, so that, together with it, she may become extendable to all, and may know with how much love and in what manner my will operates. Fiat. February 4th, 1934. Love of God hidden in the Virgin. The divine paternity gives her the divine maternity, and generates in her the human generations as her children. How the divine immensity renders all of its works inseparable. My abandonment in the divine volition continues, and finding everything that it has done in it. There is a footnote here regarding the word it, meaning everything that the divine volition has done, which remains deposited within itself. So I'll begin at the sentence again. My abandonment in the divine volition continues, and finding everything that it has done in it, everything that the divine volition has done, which remains deposited within itself. The little atom of my soul goes round and round, to give even just a little I love you of mine, for everything it has done in the round of eternity, for love of all creatures. And my lovable Jesus stopped me in the waves of interminable love of the conception of my celestial mamma, and all goodness told me, little daughter of my will, your I love you, though little, wounds our love, and from those wounds that it gives us the occasion to release our hidden love, and make itself the revealer of our intimate secrets, and of how much we have loved the creatures. Now you must know that we loved the whole of mankind, but we were forced to keep hidden in our divine being all the immense ardor of our love, because we did not find in it either the beauty that would enrapture our love, or the love which, wounding us, would make our love pour out in order to inundate them, to make itself known, to love them, and make itself loved. On the contrary, they were immersed in the lethargy of sins, such as to cause us to be horrified at merely looking at them. But our love was burning. We loved them, and wanted to make our love reach all. How to do it? We had to use a great device of our love in order to reach this, and here is how. We called to life the tiny little Virgin Mary, creating her all pure, all holy, all beautiful, all love, without original sin, and making our very divine will to be conceived together with her, so that between she and us there might be free access, perennial and inseparable union. Now the celestial queen enraptured us with her beauty, and our love ran and ran. With her love she wounded us, and our love, overflowing, hid within her. And looking at all creatures through her beauty and her love, our love poured itself out, and we loved all creatures with love hidden in this celestial queen. So we loved all in her, seen through her beauty. They no longer seemed ugly to us. Our love was no longer restricted within us, but diffused in the heart of a creature so holy. And by our communicating to her our divine paternity and loving everyone in her, she acquired the divine maternity to be able to love all as her children, generated by her celestial Father. As she felt that we loved all creatures in her, so she felt that our love formed the new generation of all mankind within her maternal heart. Can there be greater device of love, more loving stratagems, than for our paternal goodness to choose, in order to love creatures, and also those who offended us, a creature from that same stock, and form her as beautiful as we could, so that our love would not find hindrances to be able to love everyone in her and make her loved by all? In this celestial queen, all can find our love hidden in her. More so since, possessing our divine will, she dominated us to make us love all. And we, with our sweet empire, dominated her, for her to be the most affectionate mother of all. True love cannot be without loving, and it uses all arts, and takes the occasion to love from the littlest things, just as from the greatest. Our love now hides, now makes itself manifest, now directly, and now through an indirect way, in order to make itself known, that we love with incessant love she whom we delivered from the depth of our love. Greater gift we could not give to all generations, in giving them this incomparable creature as mother of all, and as the bearer of our love hidden in her, in order to feed it to all her children. After this, I continued to think about the divine will. The thought that my celestial mamma possessed in her maternal heart the hidden love with which my Creator loved me filled me with joy. Thinking that I was looked upon by God from within my dear celestial mother, through her sanctity and her enrapturing beauty. Oh, how happy I felt, and all trust! For I no longer was to be loved and gazed upon by myself, but loved and gazed upon together with my mamma. Oh, she, to make me loved more by my Jesus, will cover me with her virtues. She will clothe me with her beauty, and will hide my miseries and my weaknesses. But one thought wanted to gloom my joy, that our Lord did this for as long as the Queen of Heaven lived on earth. But when he took her into heaven, this device of divine love ended. And my sweet Jesus, returning, added, "My blessed daughter, our works continue always and are inseparable from us. So our hidden love continues in the Queen of Heaven and will always continue. It would not be operating as God if everything we do could separate from us and not have perennial life. Therefore, we love. We pour ourselves over the creatures. And it seems that our love departs from us. But no, it departs and it remains with us. And the love that pours upon the creatures is inseparable from us, and renders inseparable she who has received this love. So all our works, heaven and earth, creatures that come out to the light of the day, seem to depart from us. But no, they are all inseparable from us, and this by virtue of our immensity, which is such that, enveloping everything, there is not one point where it is not present, rendering everything we do inseparable from us. Therefore, neither can our works separate from us, nor can we from them. It can be said that they form one single body for us, and our immensity and power are like blood circulation, which maintains the life for everyone and for everything. At the most, there might be works that are distinct, one from the other, but being separable, never. And I, on hearing this, surprised, said, "Yet, my love, there are the reprobates, already separated from you. They too are works come out of you. How is it then that they no longer belong to you?" And Jesus, "You are mistaken, my daughter. They do not belong to me by way of love, but they do by way of justice. My immensity that envelops them holds its power over them, and if they did not belong to me, my punishing justice would have no one to punish, because if things did not belong to me, they would lose life instantly. But if this life exists, there is the one who preserves it, and who justly punishes it. Therefore, the sovereign lady in heaven still possesses our hidden love toward each creature. Even more, feeling her Creator loving all creatures from within her maternal heart is her greatest contentment. And she, acting as true mother, how many times she hides them inside her love to make them loved, inside her sorrows, for them to be forgiven. inside her prayers, to obtain for them the greatest graces. Oh, she is the coverer, who knows how to cover and excuse her children before the throne of our Majesty. Therefore, let yourself be covered by your celestial mamma, who shall take care of the needs of her daughter. Fiat. You have reached the end of the Book of Heaven, Volume 33, Part 3. Fiat.